Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again. And I have to admit something that I've been holding back for a long time now. And that being that I like dancers. I like dancers that are professional and do like a mass coordination, big performances. Because I like to see them. I'm all dancing in synchronous movement. I like the music. I like the fact that they bust their ass training for the big professional performances. And yeah, it's all just a big giant joy for me to behold. Because some of them, like I said, do bust their ass in training for these performances. But there's one group, one genre of dance that I just gained more respect for than the average person, and that being ballerinas. More specifically, female ballerinas. Now I know what you're thinking. How could a manly man like me possibly find the art of ballet to be so interesting? Well, it turns out that I've been watching a few videos about people that are professional ballet dancers and who train other people who want to take up this ultra feminine art form. And I've seen a few things that open my eyes to their rigorous training methods. I'm like, wow. Not only is there something I could never do in your life for obvious reasons, but I find it very fascinating that they go through many times great physical pain for something they love. And when they reach the professional levels, there are very few of the members of the ballet or ballerinas in general that can reach the amount of stardom that they can pay their bills just on ballet alone. Because most of the time they have to rely on other people like their family members or sponsors to pay for things like shoes, lessons, etc., etc., etc. And many times they have to get their own second their jobs just to support something that they enjoy. So yeah, the names of these people that are involved with the ballet videos that I watch sometimes are Lori Hernandez and Dance Serene. That's like I guess like it's supposed to be a dance company in Japan of all places. Yeah, I know another Japan plug, but yeah, I think it's fine. Now I can't speak for me the male performers because well I haven't really seen any male performing videos except this one that I will yeah. But I can imagine that it'd be pretty much the same thing as for the female performers that you can see for the men as well. But I find that with the men, they don't have to wear as revealing outfits as female performers do, and they don't have to worry so much about I don't think that they will view body hair to be a big issue like many of the female performers do, where it's a requirement to get rid of all your body hair, and I do mean all of it. So there's the rigorous training that they do on par with many of the athletes that you would assume, like basketball players, football players, soccer players, for the international people, and American football, cheerleading, for example, they also get my respect too, even though, like ballet dancers, they are they're very much underpaid, underrepresented, and they're pretty much laughed at by the rest of the athletic community. Okay? And also, when it comes to female ballerinas, you have to maintain like a certain body shape, I'm sure. I'm sure that that's not for every case, but, for most ballerinas, you see, then in like a certain type of body shape and type, and they have to have the hair in perfect condition. They have to have their the jewelry, for example, when they perform with jewelry, they have to have it glued in place there. It's very vigorous, but more than anything else, when you do with ballerinas and ballet in general, you have a very significant chance of injury over the course of however many years that people go for it. Now, I'm not talking about like the amateur, I'm just doing it just for hobby and stuff. I'm talking about the people that go for like years and years and years to get to the professional level. Now, you got your torn hamstrings. That's normal for all sports. Your dietary problems. That's like what all mainline sports too. But I'm going to talk about the injuries and the supposed problems with the feet and the ankles of ballerinas and people who practice ballet for a long period of time. Because if you've ever seen the movie Titanic, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Because when ballerinas do the stuff, they use on their tiptoes, pretty much on demand, and they have to wear what's called point shoes. Very fitting, right? They're basically shoes with like a flat thing on the front of it, so that they can balance themselves on the tiptoes, like in the movie Titanic. But yeah, as far as I know about it, that's the only style of dance that requires for anyone to actually do that on a regular basis. I mean, sure, there might be others, but for the most part, that's it. They're pretty much moving the feet and the ankles, much the same way Dexter's mom used in Dexter's Laboratory, which I will argue is a very extreme version of foot fetishism, in the same line as, say, the foot binding of ancient China. And it's very painful and extremely painful. One thing I noticed is that when it comes to dances and stuff, ballet dances, is that they have almost constant blisters on the toes, on the feet. And it looks very painful, especially because they have to keep pressure on those extremities almost the entire performance. So, yeah, they have to endure that all the time while being all bright and cheerful and they can't let it get in the way of their performances. Which, I salute them for that. They earn my respect for that aspect. That and the fact that whenever they do the move where they just cross their feet and they just stand with the ankles parallel to each other, it looks sadistic from my perspective. From a person that never did that in their lives and probably will never be able to do that in their lives, it reminds me more of like what happened to the guy in the movie Misery with the sledgehammer. And you guys know what I'm talking about here. So yeah, that's pretty good. But whoever designed the dance routine like that is sadistic. You know, I remember when Miss Doubtfire came out and everyone was laughing at the joke about, that Miss Doubtfire, okay, Robin Williams was saying, whoever invented high heels is a sadistic bastard, and I want to kill him. Like, I can only imagine what would happen if he had to dance around with on the tip of his feet, like a ballerina would do in point shoes. I'm sure he wouldn't like it very much. Nor would the audience. But yeah, let's get my respect and my utmost attention, because I know that moving around like that in an unnatural way has to be pretty damn painful and pretty alarming too. So yeah, let's get well there. And it's also that everyone has to break in that brand new shoes that only last like 1 or 2 performances before they can be thrown away. So you see them all cracking them like this and breaking the soles and making sure that the arches go in there and stuff. So it's pretty painful, I would imagine. Plus you got the effect of dealing with the sweat of your other partner in any relationship you may have with drama and things like that with other people and stuff. Talk about never making work and pleasure. That's why if I were a ballerina, I would never want to have a relationship with anybody else besides a workplace relationship. I wouldn't want to get into anything that romantically involved with someone that may or may not dance with other people, other profession. That's just no bueno for me. Yeah, but I think that ballerina doesn't deserve respect, especially with being able to dance and stuff like that on demand and do all those those nice moves. Now, let me just go over some of the moves that I like. I know I'm going to mess this up, so I can't really tell the difference between the name for a move and everything, and I can't tell the difference between Russian ballet versus, I guess, French ballet versus, I'm going to assume Italian ballet or something, but yeah. I actually like it when the women in particular run along on their tiptoes, and then they do like bouncing act, kind of like Michael Jackson, and he would do that moonwalking move, but the point move where we bounces on his tiptoes. And let's see here. also like when they do the thing where they do bam, 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 on one leg, the other one going like this. It's pretty cool. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm trying to give this one video. Of course, I like the you're gonna laugh at this, but the part where the lifts, like in no, crap, I can't forget the name of that movie now. The one with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. I'll think of it one day. But anyway, I saw a video in which somebody did like balancing on one foot, one foot, with like they were barefoot, and then they did with point shoes on. Yeah, dirty dancing. That was it. Dirty dancing that they did that lift. Wait, not dirty dancing. Something else. Anyway, I like the part where they were doing that. She was doing point movements to show the audience what it was like in the barefoot doing that, and then she did with the point shoes on, which won like $100 each per pair, and then she did one thing with the same maneuver but with platform shoes on, heels. And she said that wasn't that bad part compared to dealing with point shoes. You got more of a cushion there with the heel. I can't think of that movie now. But I'm jumping on. I'm thinking for that month for now. And of course, you got the leaves that they have there, and they have the classical dances. They're dancing. Women, they're dancing. Yeah, I think it was dirty dancing. I'm gonna use that for my finance, like dirty dancing. But yeah, there was that. And yeah, I don't think it's weird or anything. I think these women deserve more respect than what normal people give them. I think it's more, I think that since they devote their entire lives to it, I think it's great that they go into, they devote themselves to it. Like in the movie Black Swan, like Swan Lake. It's a good musical number. Nutcracker Suite. It's pretty cool. Literally. And that'd be the whole thing about Tchaikovsky. Yeah. Also, for the same matter, is that many of the people that are involved in ballet and ballerinas and stuff have been being involved in yoga which is something that I would like to get into too. So you see Lori Hernandez doing wanted to show off her ballet bag, when she brings her when she goes on trips and stuff, like like her ballet shoes, tights, leotards, towels, things of that nature, among her makeup, her fancy stuff like that. Something that most people who are not in theater don't really understand too well. But yeah, it's very fun. I would like to get to know more ballerinas in my life, both female and male, and just have fun, have coffee, and that kind of thing, and just have a good time. Maybe I can do some floating with the people, which I'm good at, and do good dancing with my square. But I do what I call white people dance. In other words, I can't really do very good dancing. I'm very stiff and I'm like a Barbie doll, or in my case, a Ken doll. So yeah, let me know what you think of this video. I'm gonna put my socials in the description below in the video. So I just look all the professional dancers out there, especially male and female ballerinas. And may I just say that I do a lot of my respect for female ballerinas in this video, but I gotta say that I do respect male ballerinas too, because it can't be easy, guys. It can't be easy because most people would laugh at you if you were to say, "Hey, I'm a male ballerina. I'm a male cheerleader." People would start getting weird ideas in the head about you and your sexuality. But not me. I work with all friends. But that's neither here and there. I honor you, I really respect you. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Let me know what your favorite move is in the ballet or ballerina school. I'll see all you girls and guys in the next video. Sayonara and ta-ta for now.